Okay, so we got a ABS light here, traction control light. I programmed the powertrain control module, and then we got a VIN mismatch code. So this is a Reman ECM. So here's the VIN number that checks out against this VIN number on the door tag here. So we want to make note of that right there. Then we also want to make note of this right here, because we're going to need it for the blink path programming, or we may need it. So if we go over to the As-Built website, we enter our VIN number here, we're going to get that tear tag. Now we're going to key the vehicle off, we're going to pull the key out, and we're going to start our programming procedure here. So if we open up IDS, we're going to do start a new session, we're going to do all other, and it's going to attempt to communicate with the vehicle. And we're going to let it go through. It's going to go all the way to the end here, and then it's going to continuously try to identify the vehicle, at which point it's going to fail. And that's what we're after here. That's what we want to happen. So you can do this with the vehicle in the ignition, but you cannot have it in the on position. I recommend just keeping it out of the ignition. So we need it to fail to identify the vehicle to continue on with this process here. Then we're going to hit the tick right here. Do you want to retry? We're going to hit no. And then it's going to try to identify the vehicle again. It's going to continuously do this. And then we're going to get to a point where we can manually attempt to enter in some information. Alright. So we're going to go here. We're going to go all other. Right here. That tear tag number. That's what you're going to want. The other stuff, just ignore it for now. The PCM part number, calibration number, we don't care about that. Our tear tag number is GTV4. So we're going to come down here. And then it is an Explorer Sport Track. And we're going to hit yes. We're going to enter in the VIN number. We want to make sure that that does match the door tag number and also the tag over there on the dash, the VIN plate. So now we are in. We're going to go here. We're going to hit module programming. We're going to hit PMI. We are going to hit PCM. It tells us to put the ignition switch on. We are not going to do that just yet. So it's going to attempt to identify what's in the vehicle. It's going to fail. We're going to enter our VIN here. Going to hit yes. Now it says install new module. Now it's going to tell us to turn our key on, and we will be perfectly fine to continue on from here. Is it a patch system? Yes. So now we're going to turn our ignition on. We're going to take our key, put it in the ignition over here, and there we go. programming away. Alright, we just followed the prompts here. We're going to hit enter. Okay, so this is where we needed some of that information off that door tag, the actual ratio. Here, if we go into Identifix, we're going to use the numbers off of the actual ratio over here. And you see the actual ratio is right here, and we are going to go into Identifix, and we are going to see what that ends up telling us. So we have entered in the vehicle VIN. It's identified the vehicle right here. We're going to go to the search. We're going to type in identification right there. See if that clears up for you. We're going to hit search. Then we are going to scroll down here into description and operation. Continue to go down. Alright. Then we are going to look for, let's see, identification tags. So that is what we're looking for. However, I'm going to show you guys another way to do this real quick. We're going to go into repairlinkshop.com. We are going to log in here. We're going to enter our VIN number. Then we're going to come down here, see it identified our vehicle. We're going to hit VIN attributes. We're going to come here, we're going to hit Control F, and then we are going to hit ratio, and it'll pop up final drive ratio. Yeah, right there, 3.37 ratio. So we're gonna do 3.37, and we're gonna hit the tick. Why does that not match? That's interesting. Give me just 1 second here. Okay, so I actually incorrectly entered that here, 3.73. I'm going to verify that here now, 3.73 ratio. And we're going to hit the tick. Okay, that matches right here. Speed control. Wasn't trying to do that yet. Speed control. Do we have cruise control? Yes, we do. Right here we have speed control. So we hit present. Then we're going to do the tire size. Alright, so we need to verify the tire size right here. And we will use a calculator, and that will figure it out for us. We're going to come down here to the tire placard in just one moment, and we'll get that information. So we entered our tire information, then we hit this calculate button right here, and we're going to get that 720. So we're going to come down here, and we are doing that right here. 4x4. Not applicable. I don't believe so. Yep, no 4x4. So we're going to hit no. And we're going to hit the tick mark. Alright, now we turn the ignition to the off position. We'll follow the prompts again. So one thing to make note of here, whenever you're programming, you always want to have some battery support on it. Ford is, one of the more forgiving vehicles when you go to program it. GM's pretty forgiving as well, but you always want to make sure that you have battery support and do things the right way. So we're just waiting for this to complete here, and then we're probably going to have to do the ABS as well. Alright, so we followed the prompt yet again. We're going to hit enter. It's going to time down and let that module go to sleep. Calibration has been loaded and checked. Alright, we don't need that. There is our part number. Programming successful. So typically here you would go into it's gonna do a code clear right now, but typically here you would go into the parameter reset. On this particular vehicle, some of them you got to do like an all keys lost function whenever you replace the PCM. It kind of depends where the PATS information is stored. But we're going to go ahead and let this do its thing here, and once the fault codes are cleared, we're going to see what is there and what comes back. So it wants us to cycle the key to the off position. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start the vehicle, see what happens here. And if you look now, our ABS light is out. So we got this thing figured out here. Blank path was the way to go. And if we come in here, we're going to run a self-test, and we are going to do all continuous monitor DTCs. Once the ignition switch on, and it is going to run the code scan. I'm going to go talk to the shop, let them know everything's all good here, and we are going to get out of here. Well, fellas, blank pathing was the answer on this one. So if we come in here, look, we are all good to go. We got a P1000, and that is all.